Hello and welcome back to Flights of Fancy, a ukulele podcast where we talk to ukulele players and people in the ukulele world about anything that takes our fancy, really. We took a short break over the holiday period and then COVID got in the way of more podcasts, but we're back now, and my guest today is a Paprika Pringle fancier. I can't say that. Paprika Pringle, that's quite hard to say, isn't it? And first and foremost, a Paprika Pringle fancier and a ukulele player second. Would you agree, Sammy?
I would. It's the long game is Paprika Pringle endorsement, and ukulele's just the side job.
Exactly. So you might know Sammy as 4-string boy on both Instagram and YouTube. And you're a player and a teacher, right, Sammy?
I do play and I do teach, yes.
Okay, so tell us a bit about yourself. How long have you been playing? How did you start?
I think I've been playing for about 7 years, and unfortunately the way I started is terribly boring. I've been playing guitar since I was 13, and just because I fancied it. I think I saw like the Strokes and Nirvana and the White Stripes on MTV2. It was around the MTV2 era, and I was like, that's cool. I like that. So my parents generously bought me a guitar, which was very nice, which I will outline it. I was absolutely terrible at for a very long time. Absolutely, really, really, really bad. Terrible.
I can relate to that.
It's really hard. And then basically moved to Brighton, moved to the south, and then we ended up going into this little guitar shop. And in a corner of the guitar shop was set up like a massive ukulele display. I'd actually never met a ukulele in real life. I've just never. I obviously I know what they are. I'm not stupid, but just never met one. And so I was like, oh, okay. And so I sat down with one. I picked up this little Carla number as a concert, actually. The guy, Alex, We Have Sound in Worthing, he was fantastic. He told me all about them, so I had a little sit down and a little play. Didn't know what I was doing, but I was like, this is something I'd like to know more about. And actually, the 4 strings thing, I'm probably more a bass player than I'm a guitarist. So I've been a professional bass player for years and years and years. So I was like, actually, this is quite sweet, and this would be quite nice to do. And I knew there was like an emergence coming up in the UK at the time.
Yeah.
So I was like, cool, if I can get down and learn this, then maybe this is something I can actually add to my teaching repertoire and give it a go. And that was it. Told you it was exciting.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's really cool. Was it love at first sight? I mean, the first time you met the ukulele?
It really was. And as a guitarist, I've always been a pick player. So right. I've never done any style of finger picking. I used to hate acoustic guitars, like with a passion, pure electric and everything like that. So actually, when it came to ukulele, having a look at the chord shapes online stuff, my muscle memory hands obviously were quite used to guitar shapes, and so it was okay. But seeing people play fingerstyle and stuff, I had absolutely no idea.
Yeah.
So I spent a long time looking at loads of different players, James Hill, Shimabukuro, Ukulele Lenny, loads and loads of different players online, and going through YouTube and just watching how they all did it. And then basically before settling on the way that I found comfortable, which is, it's just a 3-finger technique. It's what a lot of people use. And from there, I then started actually to get really into fingerstyle and started to incorporate it into my teaching lots. And and now actually I'd call myself a fingerstyle player more than a strummer, which is strange.
Yeah, because, well, as we all know, Fingerstyle Thursday, it's actually Thursday today, isn't it?
It is Thursday, isn't it?
And at the time of filming, you've already filmed your fingerstyle piece for today.
It has already been filmed and done. I just have not released it into the wild.
Okay. Well, maybe that's a good segue then into playing a little piece for us. Could you maybe play your Fingerstyle Thursday piece from today for us?
I totally could. That is absolutely it. On the actual video, this is the fireball, whose name is Rose, and she is my absolute love and joy.
She's beautiful.
So beautiful. On the video, I'm actually using the Diana, which I named Bjork because normal. But it's because of the sound wave. I'm going to get really nerdy into things. And the piece that I wrote today is in 7/8. So it's all about counting to 7. And it's also about 7th arpeggios, major and minor 7th arpeggios. So I'm trying to be clever and make you remember 7 lots, basically.
Yeah.
But on the Diana, I'm using a delay, and it just bounces around. It's very nice. So what I'm saying is it's going to sound shitter on this, and I'm very happy about it. But
okay, well, we'll have to watch the latest episode of Fingerstyle Thursday to see the Diana version.
That's
what
exactly
number is it? Just in case this goes out late. What number are we looking for?
33.
33, wow.
33.
You've done a lot already.
Oh, mate, I know, it's getting there.
What are you going to do for the 50th? You're going to have to do something big for the big number.
I will. Well, damn it. At the moment, it's sort of basically every time I get to 20, I consolidate them into a book.
Oh, yes.
So on the previous 1 to 20, it was volume 1 book. And then when I get to 40, it will be the volume 2 book.
Brilliant.
And that is actually the plan until I hit 100. Or that's my plan. So I'm planning to get to 100.
Good plan.
And then, I don't know, I'll retire, move to Costa Rica or something, God knows. But...
That'd be nice.
Yeah,
Good choice.
Yes. So
Hawaii,
basically, yeah, exactly. I think I don't say ukulele right, so the kill. Sorry, but yes. So it's. I think when it gets to 100, that'll be the big bang. But every 20 is always mayhem. So
just before I forget, you've got the volume 1 is already out.
Yeah, volume 1 book you can buy on the website, and that's already done.
Okay.
And that's it. And then volume 2, yeah, we're on 33. So there's seven more left. And then last time at 20, I did a book giveaway. I did a week where I gave away a book each day. And basically, I just randomly shout out one of the Fingerstyle Thursday numbers and then get as many people to record themselves doing it on that day.
Very cool.
And it will be the same shit house that it was last time. So it was absolute mayhem. I've never been so tired in my life. So it's I'm very much looking forward and dreading it.
I think a lot of people had fun with it, though. I saw.
I think they did, yeah, which is, I don't understand.
And just remind us what your website is, so if anyone wants to get hold of the Fingerstyle Thursday book.
Cool, it's 4stringboy.com.
Okay, that's easy, nice and easy to remember.
Yes, exactly. But I mean, if you...
I'll link it down below as well.
No, that's cool, thank you.
Yep.
I mean, on YouTube, I have basically playlists set aside for both Volume 1 and Volume 2. So the full tutorials are also there as well, because I like keeping them free.
Nice. Very generous of you. Thanks, Sammy.
Cool.
All right, I'll stop talking and let you get on. I'll put myself on.
No, that's absolutely fine. Super. So this is today's number, which is number 33. I might play things in the wrong order, so be generous. There we go.
That was impressive. That you didn't make any mistakes. This is filmed completely live in one sitting.
No, you see, this is the beautiful thing about mistakes. So I made at least 3 mistakes there and didn't play in the right order. So this is the beautiful thing about writing your own stuff.
Yes, so no one knows.
No, exactly. I mean, I'll be releasing the tab later, so lots of people are going to know. But no, I've always said when it comes to mistakes, there's at least one mistake in every single video I release. Yeah. And it's just, nobody cares.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I do the same. I mean, I think sometimes if you can't get a take without, within 3 or 4 without mistakes, then just post what you've got.
Bingo, yeah. 5 is my magic number. If I can't do it in 5, then I have to go and sit down and have a Pringle sandwich and then come back to it later. And that's it.
Exactly. A Paprika Pringle sandwich.
Of course. What other flavours exist? I don't know. Smoky bacon? No way. No smoky bacon. We know this to be true. Only Paprika exists. Sorry, the ukulele teacher. I hope he's not watching. I hope he is. It was a lot of fun. I like, although one of my students' family believes that only British people teach ukulele. and it wasn't reinforced by the fact that I'm his ukulele teacher and he watches lots of the ukulele teacher, and then he also thinks we're obsessed with crisps, and it's mainly because I go on about Pringles. And I was like, no, it's fine. And then he saw both of us warring online about Pringles, so I was like,
and the stereotypes were all confirmed.
Yeah, exactly.
I can confirm those stereotypes. We are basically obsessed with crisps and biscuits, right?
Oh, yes, and biscuits. Yes,
Biscuits.
exactly.
Crisps and biscuits, that's what we live on in the UK. I mean, you grow up on that stuff.
That's exactly it. Who needs meals when you have snacks 24/7?
Exactly. So we know what your favourite crisps are, obviously, but what's your favourite biscuit, mate?
Okay, now this could be a serious debate, because are we talking like pre-dipped in tea or post-dipped in tea? Because that really changes things.
Yeah. I mean, if it's up to me, a biscuit is for dipping, right? It has to be... Okay. Part of the best biscuit has to be that it's, good for dipping in your tea.
Yes.
Dunking, as we call it.
Yes.
Right? So I would say a dunkable biscuit. What's your favourite dunkable biscuit?
It's got to be the bourbon then.
Oh, okay.
Which is a big fan of mine. You can't get them over here, which is very upsetting. But in the UK, yes.
I know.
You do.
I think both living abroad as expats, this is why you and I perhaps become so completely obsessed with these things that we can't get anymore. At least you can get Paprika Pringles, but yeah.
That is true.
My favourite biscuit is a chocolate hobnob, and it's infinitely dunkable. It's got the chocolate melts on the top, and it's just absolute tops.
Mate,
and I can't get them here either. There's sort of poor versions in the supermarkets in Spain, but then it's not a chocolate hobnob, mate.
No. That's not cool. That's not
tough
cool.
Times. Yeah.
No, anything I find with cream in the middle is good for dunking. It's
I
protected
quite
on
like
the
a
outside.
ginger cream. A ginger cream might come in second for me.
Oh my God, yes. Yeah. Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm actually, we're filming this before lunch. This is a really bad idea, isn't it? We can make the rest of the podcast about biscuits and no ukulele.
That's fine. We'll forget what I was going to flight and biscuits. That's fine.
Yeah, if anyone's watching this and you live in the UK, if you want to send Sammy and I biscuits from wherever, from the UK, then
yes, please.
Please feel free. We would love you forever. Well, okay, let's get back to ukuleles, shall we? So let's...
if you have to, yes.
Let's think, what was I going to ask you next? So... let's tell us a bit more about your experience as a professional music teacher. I mean, just before the podcast, we were talking about the fun of being freelancer.
Yeah.
But and the different sort of challenges that comes along with. But I mean, how did you start teaching the ukulele or teaching music? Did you teach other instruments before you started with the ukulele, or?
I did. Basically, I did a BTEC in music performance at college. I then went on to do a BA Honours in music performance at university, and I then did a postgraduate certificate in education. Oh. And it's because basically, as lame as it is, I wanted to be a teacher, and I've always wanted to be a teacher.
Yeah.
And that's because at college, I had some absolutely fantastic, life-changing teachers who were just amazing, and I thank them for the skills that I still practice today. So I wanted to be that kind of character, right? And so that's always what I had in. And I generally like people, right? So teaching is just chatting and then occasionally saying something good that people write down. And that's basically it. That's all we need it for. So it's, so I did that.
It's sharing your passion as well, isn't it? It's sort of having people to share your passion with.
It really is. It's finding somebody who, and that's it. It's, that's why my job, obviously all jobs are a job, but I literally get to talk about what in my head I'd be talking about anyway.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
You get to nerd. People pay you to nerd out at them,
which is insane, isn't it? Yeah. Exactly. And then I'll talk about crisps, and it's gone. So it's no. So it's I did that, and then I went through a couple of supply teaching jobs and stuff like that, and then I became a music lecturer at Northbrook College in Worthing, and the main things I was teaching was music theory and music performance, which was basically training all the students to get ready for gigs and in their band rehearsals and stuff. Cool. And I mean, at the time, I was mainly a bass player. I play guitar, but I've always been known as a bass player more. Yeah. And I've sort of dabbled. In college, we were trained on keyboards, but I'd never called myself a keyboard player. And the same with drums, but I'd never called myself a drummer. And so basically, I started to self-teach myself those things on the side. And it's because when I was teaching in the classroom, it was me, and I had to address each sort of musician. And so if I couldn't say to the drummer, oh, that accent on that ride is wrong, or oh, here you need to switch hands, it was really helpful for me to know that. So I sort of went and tried to get my own expertise much higher at that, to push that. And that sort of led on to a bit of private teaching, like sort of on the side, that I did whilst I lectured. And then it got to the point where actually me and my wife started a business where basically it was full-time private teaching. And I taught, I still do, piano, guitar, drums, ukulele, bass, music theory.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So,
all of those instruments, that's incredible.
Yes. The only one that took a hit was when moving to Copenhagen was the drums, because, being British as well as having Brexit on the tag, I didn't want to also bring over a drum kit. So I was like, going from non-apartment life to apartment life. So I thought I'd sacrifice that one.
Yeah, fair enough. And which one do you teach the most, do you think, now?
That is tough. I really can't say. I think it is quite an even split between ukulele, piano, and guitar.
Because I suppose most people would know you. I guess obviously we know you from the ukulele because of your Instagram and because of your YouTube, and it's mostly ukulele. But yeah, that's interesting that you also teach all those other instruments. It's really great to have that kind of knowledge across the board.
It's really helpful, because when I picked up a ukulele and started, I was self-taught and watched all the online resources that you possibly can, but go from there. And the way that I think about things on ukulele is actually more like a pianist than a ukulele player. So it's because on guitar, I always thought about things as shapes and would always play as chord shapes and stuff like that. Whereas on a ukulele, because I think my job at college was always teaching theory, and it was always teaching people like the components of how chords come together and then everything like that, that is sort of how I think about chords on the ukulele. I think it's because it's 4 strings, it's easier to manage. Yeah. So if I have a chord, I can... It sounds silly, but I can sort of see the notes.
You can see the black notes and the white notes.
I can sort of see them, and so I know which notes I can add or take away, and like I might not necessarily think straight away, oh, that's an E major sharp 11 or something like that, but I know it will sound good.
That's an interesting idea, yeah. And it just made me think of like. Imagine a fretboard with white and black kind of, on it. That would be like a piano fretboard. It would be really useful, particularly for when my learning guitar. It's quite difficult. Sometimes I wish I could visualize that a bit better. But
guitar is very hard for that. That's why. Especially anything more classical based. So that's why I think lots of guitarists goes for shapes, because otherwise it takes quite a while. But yes, I find, and then like I said, for rhythms, I'm always thinking as a bass player or a drummer. So I really do find, even though occasionally it is stressful trying to keep up with every instrument, or one might get ignored for a little while, I do find that each one helps me sort of either compose or create on the ukulele. And I don't know whether it makes me any different or the same, but it feels like it adds an edge to it.
Definitely help. I think having a knowledge of all the different instruments really helps with the knowledge of the ukulele. It makes everything kind of fit together, especially when you're learning theory.
Oh, it does. It does. Exactly. And theory is really hard. So again, it is, piano makes theory much easier because it is literally black or white. So
it's all very clearly laid out, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. It's much nicer like that.
Yeah. So, if someone wanted to take lessons from you, like beyond Fingerstyle Thursday, which is free on Instagram, how would they go about it? How could they get in contact with you for a one-on-one
They can
lesson?
If you go to my website, there's a nice little section called lessons, and basically there's a little box that you can fill in. So basically, it's just me asking you, hello, what do you want help with?
Cool.
Because a lot of people know, and a lot of people are like, actually, I have no idea. I'm just sort of stuck in this rut, and I don't know how to get on with it. And it's the good news and the bad news of things. It's the good news that, unfortunately, that YouTube has no structured course or program like that, because obviously if it was, maybe my job might be sacrificed. But because of that, I think that's what people are looking for, which is quite nice.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, there's so many resources on YouTube, isn't there? So much you can find, and there's so much you can learn. That's how I started learning and as well. But at some point, you need some feedback, don't you? That's what being a teacher is all about. It's sort of, you need someone to say, maybe you could change the way you're doing that, or maybe try this, and get someone to critique your playing.
No, exactly. I mean, the amount of times I've taught a lesson to somebody who's been playing for a while, there'll just be one thing that we have to talk about, that's correct. And they'll be like, that was worth it just for that one thing. You know what I mean? It can just be one thing that, again, you can't see as a player because you've done it for ages and you sort of see through it. You don't, it's not obvious to you. Whereas to somebody else, they'll catch it straight away and be like, why are you doing that?
Yeah. Yeah, and to be able to ask someone questions as well is so valuable. That's why I think, one-on-one teaching, or having even in a group or whatever, having a teacher to ask questions to when doubts arise and sort of help you direct your learning. You can sort of make the big steps much faster, rather than searching constantly on YouTube for exactly the thing that you're trying to learn and then not knowing if the video is exactly what it is you need.
No, exactly. And different people explain things differently. And yes, it can get really, really, really messy. I've gone on many a tangent where I've ended up screaming at the computer or YouTube just
We've
because...
all fallen down those YouTube
Yes, exactly. That's it. I was really simple. Cool, subscribe.
Yeah,
it's hard work.
Yeah, it's hard. Well, I mean, obviously, apart from being a teacher, you're a musician. What are you doing? Oh, excuse me. Sorry, something just turned itself off. Bye.
Dramatically.
I thought I'd turned everything off. Not quite. Apart from being a teacher, you're also a musician. Do you have any kind of musical projects outside of teaching, or are you?
You know what? No, I pretty much up until teaching, I've always been playing in bands, always, and it was multiple bands. It was just because that's what I enjoyed the most, and I very much enjoyed it. But no, with the amount of teaching I do, actually, I find Instagram really does take up all my time, which I'm very grateful for, because I absolutely adore doing it and I want to do it. But no, it's I mean, in the last couple of years, I really wanted to push more into composing. I've always wanted to be a composer.
Okay.
And
that's sort of what you're doing with Fingerstyle Thursday, right? I mean, every week
it is a little bit, I guess,
piece.
which I never thought about. And then on like the volume 2 where we currently are, I'm trying to view them more, I think, as pieces rather than... I've always not wanted them to sound like exercises, because we've all heard the da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da exercise. We don't want to play that. The point is that you exercise something that is useful, but that somebody else listens to and they go, oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it also sounds good, and you feel like you want to keep playing it, you want to keep doing
exactly.
it.
Yeah, exactly that.
Yeah.
So it's so no, I've got like probably every other composer everywhere, or anything, or any other artistic person. I have loads and loads of projects just labeled like, to be continued, blah 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 blah. That when I have some spare seconds, I write some music for, and then it lives on my hard drive until it'll die.
I'm sure you'll find time at some point.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah, I mean, well, speaking about social media, I mean, obviously you've got a very successful Instagram page and YouTube as well.
Oh, thanks.
I know a lot of people are quite interested in how to sort of make content on Instagram and YouTube and things like that. Do you have any top tips for content creation, whether that's audio or video or...
I mean, okay, so one question I get a lot, people message me, they're like, oh man, your videos always sound great. Can you let me know your mic setup?
Yeah.
And I'm always like, okay, my mic and camera setup is this.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's the front-facing camera of an iPhone. And that is all I use.
And the mic as well?
And the mic, yeah.
Amazing.
I absolutely, and I get it, because I'm a very big nerd when it comes to sound. But I've spent, actually, before I became 4-string boy, basically me and my wife, working on a music business, she always wanted me to do Instagram to like promote teaching and doing playing. Mm-hmm. And I could just never do it. I could never bring myself to it. And it was because I was too scared of it not being perfect.
Right.
Or it not sounding good. I was like, I can't do it because I don't have that mic.
Yeah.
Or, oh no, it's going to be terrible because it's on that camera.
Yeah.
Or, there was always a problem. And I think that got to a point where it froze me and I didn't do anything. And I think if you can just knock that on the head, people don't care. People
Yeah.
just want content. You know what I mean?
Would you say
as long as
simplicity?
obviously, sorry,
Sorry, no, carry on.
no, I was going to say, as long as like, you know, it's not on fire or smothered in Vaseline or there's not drilling going on. As long as, you know, there's audio that you can clearly hear and you can clearly see someone, it more than makes the grade. You know what I mean? It really doesn't matter for like Instagram and stuff like that. So most of my posts are done within a 20-minute gap in teaching. Yeah, and it's just me grabbing this, smashing it on my tripod, having a couple of run-throughs, and then hitting play, and then hitting record, and then going
filters,
for it. Nope.
No mics, nothing.
Nope.
Yeah.
No.
I think simplicity maybe is key. I think in getting decent, especially image quality. I mean, as soon as you start putting it through any other programs or putting filters on it, it sort of loses quality immediately. It loses quality already when you put stuff on Instagram.
Exactly, I totally agree, and I think the way that Instagram handles video, it's not like YouTube, where on YouTube you can play like a nice 4K video on your big TV or something like that. It's Instagram that's going to be on your phone. Yeah. So and plus most people are probably going to listen from their phone speakers anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
It really, I've never found it's hindered me. If anything, it just means I have more time to record more content, which I find much more important. Yeah. So I would rather that my content doesn't, you know, look the shiniest or sound the best, but people don't seem to care. And the more that people don't care, the more that I don't care.
Yeah,
and so
your content looks great and sounds great. And the fact that you have it keeps coming every week, and we can expect to see Fingerstyle Thursdays, you know, every Thursday. It's good to know, you know, it's like keeps people motivated as well.
That's exactly it. It's I think
tips.
I think it's just give yourself time, or just, you know, don't give yourself time and see what comes in the moment. I think it's equally as exciting as that, but the less you make it a big deal. It's the same with when I have students who want to perform. Mm-hmm. And it's always that first gig where they shit themselves and they're really shaky and they do a terrible job. And it's always, if you put your phone on and just hit start recording, you will get the same fear as in you're performing to an audience. Yeah. But if you do that every day, exactly. If you do that every day, you start to get used to that feeling, or you start to knock it down a little bit. And it's the same with people when recording and stuff. It's everybody, as soon as that record button goes on, we're like, I can't do it.
And I suppose the more equipment and the more kind of things that you add to that, you know, if you're spending ages setting up to make a 30-second reel.
That's it, yeah. You've got to stop this, stop that, stop that. I leave my camera on, and if I make a mistake, it stays rolling. I find every time you hit that button, your anger level goes
right
a little bit more. You know what I mean? Because you're like, oh, well, I fucked it. And every single time it does that. So I find if you keep it rolling, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how many times it takes. You just sit there and until it's done. Yeah.
These are top tips, Sammy. Thank you very much.
Top tip, Sammy.
Yeah, top tip, Sammy. You should have a top tip Tuesdays.
Top tip Tuesdays. Mate, yes. I'll cover every day of the week when I have more time. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Monster Munch Monday. Top tip Tuesday.
Very nice. Pickled onion only. You know me. Okay. Well, one more question, and then I'd like to do a quick lightning round, and then maybe you could play us out with a little song as well.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe. Okay. Sure. Well, let's see. Well, first of all, I want to ask you, what would you say to someone who's just starting out on the ukulele?
Always the same thing. It's basically, you have to learn to be patient and be kind to yourself. There's always so many posts that I see about people who have been like, oh my God, I've been playing for a week and I can't do this. Or, oh my God, I've been doing it for a month and now it's like, no. It has to be part of your life. Yeah. That's essentially it, right? It's always little and often. So just basically get used to, you're probably going to be shit for a good while. And that is cool, okay? Because we've all been there and we all understand. It's just, we don't get to see the other side of the camera where people are practicing and making mistakes. So it really is just having patience. And even if you're having a bad time with a particular song or exercise, know that you will get it. It just takes time. And as long as I think you keep believing that, you'll get there. It's the people that don't believe that and be like, well, no, this is pointless, that the anger gets the most out of them, and then they quit. So
Not
I think
comparing yourself to other people is really important, isn't it? Only comparing yourself to yourself. So try, do
absolutely.
something one day and then you try it again the next day, and you can ask yourself, did I do it better than yesterday? Yes. Then you've made, you're seeing the automatic improvement.
Exactly. It's that's always the way, and it's one of my favorite. My students will say sometimes, they're like, but you make it look so easy, and it's like, when you've played it for the same amount of hours that I have, you will also make it look that easy. Yeah. Hell, it might even sound better. We're just at different parts of the journey. That's all. And you can't be angry at yourself because somebody is further down the line. It doesn't work. So patience and kindness, because you'll always get there.
Yeah, it's good advice for just life in general, isn't it, really? The ukulele just teaches us how to live, doesn't it? It teaches us
really
so much
does.
about life.
Jake Shimabukura's quote of, if everybody played ukulele, the world would be a better place, is always like one of my most favorite things, because it really is, that side of it does sort of reflect on life. If you just trust and generally be patient and kind, everything works out.
We always end up talking about this with whoever I do a podcast with, or whoever I talk to about the ukulele community, and everyone always says it's such a kind community. It really is. What is it about picking up a ukulele that just makes people kind? It does somehow.
I don't know.
It sort of humbles you, picking up an instrument and learning, and it makes you, I don't know, just that whole putting yourself into that learner mindset or beginner mindset. Yeah, it's humbling, and I think it's good for us to do that. And
I agree.
Go at the door and.
Yeah, no, I agree. But you're absolutely right. I've never met anyone like the ukulele community. And it seems across, even on, dare I say, Reddit, where, you know what I mean, it's generally, you're going to get murdered. The ukulele community on there are fantastic and really lovely, which is was a surprise. And it's like, Instagram is beautiful. It just, I don't know. Is it something about the instrument that brings out the best in people?
Yes, I think I would say I agree.
It must be. It's magic.
Not That's like, Pringles, which brings out the worst in people.
No, it does.
Massive wars over the internet.
Sleepiness, bad skin.
Oh dear. Well, okay. Quick lightning round. I'm going to ask you some quick questions, and I'd like to see if you can give me one-word answers every time I've done this.
I'm so slow. This is going to go very badly.
I've failed, and we end up having a longer conversation. But in the sort of interest of trying to keep the podcast within a reasonable time, let's see if we can keep it to one-word answers.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. Favorite ukulele?
Fireball.
Rose. Lovely Rose.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a difficult one. Favorite ukulele player?
Danish man Tobias Elof.
Oh, yes, I've seen him on the ukulele site. Yeah. Amazing. Do you know him?
You know what, I should, because we live in the same city, but I've literally never met him, which is...
Knock on his door with the ukulele and be like, hi, can we play?
If anything's going to get me deported, it'll be that. But it will... No.
Do Danish people not respond well to being stalked?
No, most communities are frowned upon. It's weird, but no. He's an absolute fantastic player. Really excellent fingerstyle, harmonics. I would definitely say my harmonic influences come from him. Just all round excellent player.
Great. Okay, one word to describe the ukulele.
Not to sound contradictory, but happy.
Ah, very nice. Okay, favorite song to play on the ukulele, obviously.
Probably the song we're going to play you out with, which is Radiohead, No Surprises.
Oh, very good. Okay. Favourite crisps?
It's got to be the old P, Paprika Pringles.
Double P, PP. Now, be careful, because in Spain, PP is the Partido Popular. It's the Conservative Party here. So.
Oh, okay, right. No PP. I think on the other internet it means other things as well, so we'll stay clear of that.
Yeah, okay. We've talked about our best biscuit. Yours is bourbon, right? Favourite biscuit?
Yeah, it was, yes.
All right. What about your best brand of British tea, since I get to speak to a British person for once?
Okay. This is where you might disown me, because basically... Mate, literally whatever's cheap and can be thrown in a cup of tea. That I know. That is it. So it was usually whatever Tesco
British.
are putting in their tea.
Whatever.
I know.
I'm pyramid bags, mate.
I'm fraud. Yeah. All right. Anything with monkey would be good.
Well, exactly.
Yeah. No. No.
Yeah, I mean, generally
anything
it's
cheap.
PG or Tetley, right? But I mean, actually, PG I can get here in Spain. They sell it in most of the shops in my neighbourhood. So
Oh, really?
PG
I think I
tops,
can
they're healthy.
I can get Yorkshire tea here. Yorkshire tea here if I want to pay like £6 for 10
Yeah.
tea bags, which I don't.
Yeah, not so good. Well, we need to send Sammy some PG tips as well, I reckon. Anyone in the UK
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. That
wants
is
to
good.
send Sammy a care package, feel free.
I like this.
And one thing that you wish you could do better on the uke.
Strum. My strumming game, I think, needs much improvement. When I look at players such as, a couple of flight artists, Danny
Yeah.
and Peter Moss.
Yeah.
Both of those boys have got fantastic, like, versatile strumming
yeah.
techniques. Exactly. And again, because I'm self-taught on the uke, my strumming people constantly find a bit strange. But yeah, that is something I need to be much better with, I think.
Yeah, it's sort of alternating between strumming and fingerstyle can be very difficult. Doing one or the other. Peter does that very well. I've sort of tried to copy some of his videos, and it's like, what did you just do? How are you?
But no, they're both monster players. So yes, that would be my I think next stage of trying to improve that.
Okay, cool. And if you couldn't play uke, what would you play?
Oh, I mean, it should take me to. Like I said, technically I'm a bass player, but I have the most fun either on drums or piano.
Okay.
So, drums.
All right, interesting. Okay.
So fun.
I'm surprised you don't do more percussive ukulele.
Oh yeah, I need to be better at that too.
Yeah.
Actually, in saying that, I'm going through a John Gomm percussive course at the moment. So John Gomm is like my most favourite guitarist ever. Really
Okay.
percussive, excellent guy from like the north of England. But so even though it's a guitar course, I'm trying to apply what I can to the ukulele. And so just watching him with his different techniques. So at the moment, I'm trying to dissect that and attach it and seeing what I can do with it.
Well, we'll look forward to seeing the results of that study.
Hopefully.
Okay. All right, Sammy, could you play us out with a final song?
I could, but I'm going to use the Diana, but she probably needs a quick tune.
Okay, no worries, we can wait.
Thanks.
We can listen to whatever noises are coming from outside my house right now. Strange machine noises.
The robot rising is sooner.
Oh, we get to see that, the robot tuner.
Oh my god.
This is so cool. And do you just use that for regular tuning now?
It's ruined my life.
Yeah,
Honest
it's
to
going to
God.
make you so lazy.
I can't go back. It is so good and convenient. It's stupid.
Wow.
I hate it a little bit, but if I forget it, I feel like life is over.
Really handy. I mean, if you're playing a gig and you've got to tune up fast, I mean...
No, it's insane. It's insane. And because I use so many different tunings, it's actually incredibly fast as to how fast you can switch between tunings. It's very silly.
Yeah, especially if if you're performing and you've got to sort of switch between tunings quickly. I think I was listening to a performer, maybe it's Taimani, maybe it was someone else, talk the other day about sort of trying to maybe it was a guitar player, I can't remember who it was, but they were saying, I've had to sort of take tunings out, different tunings, alternate tunings out of my performance because I can't, afford to carry more than one guitar and have all these guitars with me. I think, it was a guitar player. But that what's it called? The robot?
Roadie
3. Yeah.
Roadie 3.
I mean, it sort of solves that problem, doesn't it, if you're on stage?
I mean, the biggest problem with multiple tunings is obviously that your string tension will try and get back to originally where it sits.
Yeah.
So that is it. But generally, I find that if you tune it a couple of times, it sits quite nicely. So it's not terrible at all. But yes, it's a tool I can't live without now. It's ruined my life.
Great. All right. I'll put myself on mute here so we can hear you. Off
Okay, thanks. I love everything about it. I constantly talk about it, but the sound wave, I just love everything about it. Even because this is plugged in, and this is how I teach basically. So but I'm just running the reverb through it as well because harmonics. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Sammy.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on the podcast today. And I'll link to your website and to your Instagram and everything down below. Any final words?
Kind. Thank you for having me. This is all very exciting. My life is a very exciting time. I love everybody.
Love everybody. Great. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Perfect. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.